Hey everybody, it's Christina from Crafty Paws. I wanted to share with you today how to make frames or little doily shapes using corner punches. I would recommend actually using corner punches that are the same on both sides because your frames tend to be more symmetrical then. For example, this pansy corner punch is not the same on both sides, and I kind of didn't like how the frame ended up looking. So I'm going to demonstrate using this eyelet corner punch. And basically what you need to do is cut yourself a circle. I use the Creative Memories circle cutter set, but there's tons out there. You just need to make sure that your circle is larger than, say, 4.5 inches or so. That way the frame you end up with is going to end up being larger, so you have space to either put a sentiment or a picture or something like that, because remember, the frame is going to be smaller than the circle that you cut out. Then what you do is take the circle grid, and I'm going to put a link to where the circle grid can be found. This originally I found watching a YouTube video by Victoria Chambers, and I'm going to put a link also to her tutorial as well. But I thought I would take the time to try and show you kind of step by step how to do this. So the next thing you do is you line up the circle that you cut into the center of the circle grid. Then you take a ruler and you start drawing the transverse lines. And I'm doing it in pen just so you can see it better, but I would recommend doing it in pencil, obviously. And if you want to have both sides exposed, then you can erase the pencil lines. And I've chosen to do every 30 degrees or so, depending on the width of the actual punch that you're using. This is about 1 inch, so I wanted to have about 1 inch between each line, but you can do it wider. You can pick 40 degrees or 20 degrees, depending on how big actually your circle is going to determine how much space you want between the lines at the end of the circle. And if you end up doing the lines too far apart, like say I didn't do this one here and I only did this and this, you'll have a space between where the punch ends up punching out the image. So then I've got my circle all lined up, and I'm going to turn my corner punch upside down. You don't need the little side wings out, and you just line it up so that you can see through the back side of the punch. And I'm not going to be able to show you this in enough detail through the camera, but you can kind of see, I think, here where the line is and how far the punched image is from the edge of the paper. And you want to kind of keep that in mind for each time you punch out that image, because you want it to be an equidistant from the end of the paper. See there. And now, see, you can see this is what I meant. I'm going to remove this so you can have a better look with a dark table. So that space in between, if I had done 20 degrees instead of 30 degrees, it might connect. But I'm going to go ahead and just show you what that does. And then it doesn't mean that I have to start over. It just means that the design is going to be a little bit different. And I'll need to cut the in-between spaces with my X-Acto knife. So I'm sorry this is taking a little bit longer. I should have had one half done for you so I could just skip to the next step like in those cooking shows. But bear with me. And then with my X-Acto knife, let me get my cutter back, like my mat back. So then I just need to connect the two spaces, and you'll see that's what I mean. So the design will be a little bit more sparse, but if I had done 20 degrees instead of 30 degrees between each punch, and I was kind of rushing this, so it's a little bit crooked, but you get the idea. That's the look. And this is one that I did with the bubble corner punch. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And you see how I cut the in-between spaces because, again, I put the lines further apart. On the other hand, you can see in this one, I did 2 layers. Sorry for the glare. This one was a little bit further apart. The inner one was a little bit closer together, but there's less space in between. But you can get pretty fantastic frames, and I just thought I would share how I learned to do this so that you're not randomly just punching with a corner punch and ending up with uneven spacing for your design. You end up with really good, crisp designs, evenly spaced out punches, and I think really dramatic, pretty frames. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thanks. Bye.